Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining us today for our session on the New York webinar for knowledge management. So we're going to find out what's new in New York for knowledge management. And today we have Loknath and Catherine that will be presenting. Just a quick note that I will be putting the community link that's to this event into the chats so that you can always come back onto the community and post your questions for our experts to come and engage with you. We hope that you also share this knowledge to your colleagues and also encourage them to post their questions as well. So with that, I'll leave it up to Loknath. Take it away.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Loknath Chakravarti. I'm a senior product manager responsible for knowledge management product. With me, I have Catherine.
Hey everyone, Catherine Randazzo. I'm also the Senior Outbound Product Manager for Knowledge and the entire self-service experience.
So me and Catherine will take you through the features that we have released in New York, brief introduction to them. So these are the features that we want to cover and demo, starting with translation management, similar articles, article template enhancements, enhancements on the knowledge portal, article validity configuration, and importing a new article version. There are some other features which we will touch upon, but probably will not have time to demo, but these are exciting nonetheless. Knowledge on employee mobile app, republishing a retired article, some search enhancements like unified index for search and index filters, and versioning support in managed documents. So before we jump into New York, the story thus far, in Geneva, Helsinki, and Istanbul, we did a lot of features on knowledge and migrated from knowledge V2 to V3. In Jakarta, we introduced the KM portal, and we also got the Pink Verify certification. Kingston and London released a lot of big features on knowledge, like article templates, article quality index, knowledge blocks, PA dashboards, actionable feedback. And that's why we got the KCS certification in the London release. And we were the first integrated product with incident management and case management to be KCS certified. In Madrid, we released the knowledge guided setup, introduced ownership groups. And New York is where we are, and we'll jump into the New York features. The first feature that I want to introduce is knowledge translation management. So as enterprises today are working across geographies, they have both employees and customers who are across geographies and have different language requirements. So for a knowledge manager or a knowledge admin, it is an overhead to kind of manage both the article versions as well as the different translations, what translation is missing from which article in which version. That's all an overhead. And we have automated that process in the translation management feature through creating trackable tasks. And we have also added the option of integration with third-party translation APIs. So what you can do today with translation management is manage large internationalized knowledge bases through automated tasks and third-party APIs. With that, I'll jump into the demo. So here I have logged in as John Adams, who is a knowledge manager, knowledge author persona, and he's looking to translate an article. So we have added, you can see two new links at the bottom of each article. One is request translations and the other one is translate. So let's say John is an author in English, and he knows that this article needs to be translated into German, but John is not a German, is not conversant in German. So what John can do is he can request a translation and select a language and submit. So what this will do is it will create a translation task in the background and assign it to a translator who can be mapped by assignment rules. Assignment rules is an existing feature on platform, so you can use that. The other scenario is John is able to translate himself into German language. So what he can do is he can directly click on translate and translate this article. Another option to automate this is that we can set up the task creation automatically at knowledge base level. So we have a new field called auto create translation tasks, and I'll set that to true for all the knowledge bases. So what this will do is the system will track what all languages are configured for a particular knowledge base. And if you look at this article, it is in KCS knowledge base. And if you look at this knowledge base, it has 2 languages, German and English. So whenever an article is created in KCS knowledge base, either in English or German, the system will find out what is the missing language and accordingly create tasks and assign to a particular translator. So let me demonstrate that. So I'll check out this article and make some updates and publish it. So this will create a translation task in the background. And if you look at what kind of assignment rules are created. So I have created a German translation rule, which will assign any translation in German to Kevin Anderson, who is an author, who is also conversant in German. So I'll log in as Kevin, and I'll look at the tasks that are assigned to him. So Kevin has a translation task that is assigned to him, and Kevin opens the task and sees the source article, what is the source language, in which language the article has to be translated. So what Kevin can do is from this article, he can click on translate. And Kevin sees a side-by-side view of the original article and the target article. So the original article is here so that Kevin can do all the translations and see what words have to be put in, and the look and feel and the formatting is persisted on the right-hand side. In addition, Kevin can also leverage third-party translation APIs. So out of the box, we have translation APIs with IBM Watson, Microsoft, and Google, and any of these can be configured in the system. So Kevin will trigger a machine translation, and he gets a warning that whatever changes he has done on the right-hand side will be overwritten. So once the machine translation is complete, Kevin can get an initial German translation of the English article. And on that, Kevin can make further changes. And once he is happy with the article on the right, Kevin can create a draft article out of it. And this article can then be published and submitted to the regular article workflow. So that was the translation management feature. And as you can see, that through automation of translation tasks, the overhead of managing the different translations and the different versions of translations is taken off from the knowledge manager or the knowledge admin. The system tracks what languages are configured for each knowledge base and accordingly creates actionable tasks and assigns them to the correct authors based on assignment rules. We'll move to the next feature, which is similar articles. This is the first feature on knowledge management that's based on machine learning. And this has a few use cases. The first one being avoiding duplicate knowledge articles. So when you are creating a new article, you want to see what duplicates, if there are any duplicates in your knowledge base. And avoiding duplicates improves the quality of your knowledge base. And we are using machine learning algorithms to identify duplicates of the knowledge article that you are trying to create. A related use case is for a customer or an end user, and they are looking at a knowledge article for resolving an issue or finding the answer to a question. They can look at a related articles widget in the portal article view page, which suggests similar articles to the one that they are currently viewing. And maybe if this article is not useful to them, they can look at a similar article and try to resolve their issue. A related feature that has been released with this is the ability to link one article to another, and also an article to a catalog item. So I'll show that in a demo. So again, I have logged in as Kevin, who is a knowledge author, and Kevin will try to create a new article. So this is the new article creation interceptor, where you can first select a knowledge base, then select a knowledge template, and you can see a preview of the article. And Kevin chooses a knowledge base and category, and then he puts in a short description. So based on what Kevin has entered in the short description, Kevin can see some similar knowledge articles, and what he can do is he can analyze what this article is about, and then decide whether the need to create a new article out of it. So if they find that there is a duplicate article in the knowledge base already, which might not be exactly worded the way he's trying to create, but they are of a similar topic, then he can stop creating that particular article. So this is how we deflect. This is how we avoid duplicates in a knowledge base. A related feature here is the ability to link articles and catalog items. So this is an article. This is related to configuring knowledge bases, and I want to, as an author, if you want to link related articles, then you can do that. So you can add these articles and click on save. So these articles are now linked. So a user who is viewing this particular article, configure knowledge bases, will also have links to the other related articles. On a similar note, since this is an article for configuring knowledge bases, you can also add a catalog item. So if you have a catalog item to request something, you can add that to your knowledge article. An example could be that an employee is reading an article about the do's and don'ts of a corporate credit card. And then you want, after they have read the article, they can request for a corporate credit card through a service catalog item. So you can link those catalog items to a particular knowledge article. So now I have linked one catalog item, 3 articles to this knowledge article, and then I'll see what's the experience for a customer who is viewing that article. So George is a customer here, and George has browsed to the knowledge base, and when they open this particular article, they can see that the related articles are showing up in a widget, and then the related catalog item is also showing up. So if they, after reading this article and the linked articles, if they want to request for a knowledge base, they can do that. So this is the power of this feature. Additionally, the related articles also show up the similar articles based on ML algorithms. So if there are no articles configured, or if there are less than 5 articles configured, then any other related or similar articles will show up in this particular widget. So this also helps the user who is browsing for a knowledge article to look for a similar knowledge article and resolve their problem using that. So that was about the similar articles feature. Next, I'm really excited to introduce some enhancements on the article templates feature that was introduced back in Kingston. And what we have done in New York is the ability to configure your article templates by KB. So for a particular knowledge base, you can decide what all templates are allowed, thus governing the content and the look and feel of the articles that are created in that particular knowledge base. We have also added CSS support for article template fields. So you can add CSS code to article template fields and style the articles the way you want. We also added an ability to expand and collapse article template fields, thus making your articles more readable. So again, as John Adams, I will first look at an article template. So these are the templates that are out of the box in Knowledge. And what I'll do is I'll go to a KCS article template, and then in the environment field, you can see that we have added the expand collapse option. So you can choose whether a particular field will be expanded or collapsed by default. And if you keep all the fields collapsed by default, the user will see kind of an overall view of the article, what the article contains, and thus have better readability. So, and we have also introduced two new fields here, heading style and field style, to style, and these two fields accept CSS code. So you can add any CSS supported code and style each field the way you want. Just for demonstration, I'll add some code here. So I've added a background color to the field as well as the heading for environment field in KCS template. And let me also make the issue field collapsed by default. Now, when I create a new knowledge article using the KCS template, you can see that the preview shows what the article will look like. So the issue field is collapsible, and then we have added a style, background color, and font color to the field, as well as to the title of the field, as well as the field itself. And you can play around with CSS options and style the articles the way you want. So let me add some text to this article. Save the article and publish. So now as a customer, if I look at the same article from Knowledge Portal, let's see how the article looks like. So this is the article I just added, and you see on the Knowledge Portal, the issue field is collapsed by default. You can also make it expandable by default. And if you add the collapsible property to all of the fields, you can actually get a top level view of what are the different contents in this particular article. And then you can see the styles that are getting reflected on the environment field. So this was about the article templates. The other thing that we have added for templates is an ability to limit what templates are available for a particular knowledge article for a particular knowledge base. So for that, what I'll do is I'll go to customer service knowledge base as an example, and here we have a new related list called article templates. And once we click on this, a knowledge admin can choose what all templates are allowed. So in this case, he has chosen FAQ and how-to templates, and disallowed KCS and what is templates on the customer service knowledge base. So I'll update the knowledge base. Now, if I try to create an article in customer service knowledge base, you can see that the how to and FAQ templates are allowed. Standard template is allowed across every knowledge base, but the other two out of the box templates are not allowed in customer service. However, if you look at other knowledge bases, so you can see 5 templates, but you are able to limit the number of templates or the templates that are available to a particular knowledge base. So as I said, this allows better governance because you can control the content as well as the look and feel of the articles that are created in your knowledge base. Moving on to knowledge portal enhancements. So we have been hearing the ability, we have been hearing from customers like you, the need for browsing and searching articles through a category hierarchy. In knowledge, the categories are set in a hierarchy, but the category widget was a flat list of categories. So we have listened to you, and we have made the category widget in the knowledge search results page. We have added the support to browse and search using the category hierarchy. In addition, we have added rich text comments, advanced comments with support for images, attachments, rich text in the knowledge service portal article view page. Additionally, starting from New York, all the new customers on New York and beyond will be viewing the KB article view page in the service portal or the SP flow. And the same thing can be done by customers who are upgrading from London or Madrid to New York by a simple route map configuration. So I'll show all of that in a demo. So I have logged in as George, who is a customer, and George is browsing the IT knowledge base. And once he expands the filters, George can see that the category widget here is showing the tree, the category tree, and George can click on a particular category to look at what all articles are belonging to that category. And the same is supported in search as well. So now a customer can, or an end user can search for articles or browse articles using the category hierarchy. Next, when we open an article in the knowledge portal, you can see we have added rich text comments to articles. So you can add text in different styles. You can bullet and number those lists. You can add indentation. You can add links, images, and even source code. You can add attachments to your comments. And so once you submit a comment, the other users can like your comment, or they can come and reply to your comment. So all of that is supported. So this allows a better conversation on knowledge articles, on the knowledge article end users. This is a feature that is being released in New York. Now, just going to the service portal, this is an upgraded instance, and a service portal user, George Warren, is looking at an article in the service portal. So you can see that the link opens in the traditional service portal article view page, and this can be modified easily by adding a route map. So we have shipped a route map called knowledge article view, and this is turned off for upgrade customers, and this is turned on by default for customers new on New York. So all you have to do to use all the latest knowledge article view features is to make this route map active. And now, when George tries to view the same article from the service portal page, he's actually routed to the KB article view page with all of the latest features like advanced feedback management, the other widgets that we talked about, related articles, related catalog items, and all of the features that come with the knowledge article view page in KB service portal. This is the next feature that I want to cover called article validity configuration. So article validity is not a new concept in knowledge management. We had a field called valid to on a knowledge article. And this field used to be the same for every knowledge article, and an author could come and update the particular valid to field on a knowledge article. And once the knowledge article passes that valid to date, then it used to become expired, and it would not be searchable anymore from the different portals. So we have given a better control on article expiry by allowing different validity of articles in different knowledge bases. For that, we have introduced a new field called article validity at a knowledge base level, and this is set in days. And a knowledge admin or a knowledge base owner can add whatever date they want to article validity. So as an example, here John Adams is adding 365 days to customer service knowledge base, and he updates the knowledge base. And then if any article is created in customer service knowledge base, so you can see that the date is 1 year from the date. The valid to date is set to 1 year from the date the article is created. So you can actually configure different article validities for different knowledge bases. Like you might want your IT knowledge base articles to expire in or be relooked at in 6 months, and then your HR knowledge base to be knowledge base articles to be reviewed in 12 months. So you can set different validities for different knowledge bases, and the valid to date is auto-populated. An author can also override this value if they want a specific valid to date for their article. So that will be, the article will expire on the date that is specified by the author. However, if the same article is checked out by an author in the later in the life cycle of the article, then the article will again try to check what is the validity set at the knowledge base, and then set the valid to date on the article accordingly. So if an author wants to change the valid to date on a checked out article or a new version of an article, they have to do it manually on each checkout. So this allows better governance of articles at a knowledge base level and controlling on what date they expire. That was about this feature. Finally, we have this feature called import new article version. So you are aware of the word import capability in knowledge management that was there, that has been there in the product. But till date, whenever you imported a Word file, it would always create a new article. And what we have heard from different customers is the ability to import a Word file and then update an existing article. That's precisely what we have added in New York. And you can actually import a Word document and create a new version of an existing article. The existing article can be a published article, or even if it's a draft article, the uploaded Word content will overwrite the content of the draft article, and then you can publish it to create a new version. Just to quickly demo this as Kevin Anderson, who is a knowledge author. So Kevin opens a knowledge article, and this has been created from Word. But any article which is in published or draft state can be used with this feature. So there is a new related link at the bottom of the article called Upload New Version. And once you click on this, you get this dialog box, and you can drag and drop doc or docx files here, or you can even browse for a particular file. So I'll browse for a file, and I just imported this particular document, And you have an option of copying the attachments or not. So if the doc file has any attachments, those can also get added to the knowledge article. After you have, and you can select, for this view, you can only select one Word file because you are uploading a new version of one article, but otherwise in the import feature, you can actually bulk import Word files and create knowledge articles out of it. So once you click on import, so the uploading is now complete. And once you click on continue, you can see that a new version has been created from the uploaded file, and the content of the article has been taken from the Word file that was just uploaded. And again, this article version can be published and submitted to the knowledge workflow to get a updated version of the article, and it will depend on what kind of workflow you have configured at the knowledge base level. You can also you can also configure a property so that you can instantly publish an article once an Word file is uploaded to an article.
Hey, we have two quick questions. In the portal, is there any way to filter the articles depending on the user's preferred language?
Yeah, so this was a feature that was introduced in Madrid. So if you, let's say you are browsing for articles, I'll just browse in IT knowledge base. And you have this language filter over here, and you can filter articles in a particular language. There's also an option to make this multi-language search. So there's an instance option. Let me see if I can quickly turn it on. Okay, that is a property, but this particular widget can be made multi-language select. So at the same point of time, a user can search for English articles, French articles, German articles, or based on whatever languages are configured. But they can also trigger searches based on multiple languages, like a combination of all three. So that feature was released back in Madrid.
Okay. I have two more questions, but let me know if you want to take them now or you want me to wait to the end.
Yeah, I can take them now. I think we are doing.
How to import Word documents with the attachments in bulk?
Yeah, so for that, as a knowledge author, search for the articles module, and you have this menu link called import articles. And again, this was a feature that was released in Madrid, and you can select a knowledge base, you can select a category. And then when you browse for files, you can actually add multiple files.
You're just holding down the command key?
Yeah, and then once you have uploaded, then you see the file title over here, and you can make changes on what short description you want for your articles, like removing these. And once you click on import, you can see all the articles getting imported. And then if you don't want a particular import, you can actually remove it from here. And then once you continue, all these three articles will be bulk loaded, and draft articles will be created out of it. It also shows what you have canceled, and then links to the draft articles that you have created via import.
Well, if you're creating new KB templates, or a KB template is created, does it count against the licensed custom tables?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
If a new KB template is created, does it count against the licensed custom tables?
No, it does not. As far as I know, the article templates feature as well as custom templates in knowledge management is not licensed. So there's no extra charge for creating custom templates.
Okay, great. Well, let's continue and then we'll have find some more questions soon. Thank you.
Okay. Some of the other features that I wanted to talk about, which were released in New York, we released an employee mobile app in ServiceNow, and that has knowledge. So you have the ability to browse for knowledge articles using categories, search for knowledge articles, obviously view articles, and then there are some out-of-the-box mobile widgets like recently viewed articles of the logged in user. So a user can view some articles, log off, and then come back and see what articles they have viewed recently. There's another out-of-the-box widget called popular articles, and all of that is available on the employee mobile app. Feedback management is also available. So if your users are rating an article low or marking them as not helpful, feedback tasks will get generated and assigned to your authors so that they can follow up and resolve the issues with that article. The other two widgets that I introduced on the knowledge portal article view page, like related articles and related catalog items, they are also available on the mobile article view. So we have added out of the box knowledge experience in the employee mobile app for employees. The next one is versioning support in managed documents. Those of you do not know managed documents, it is an ServiceNow application used for managing versions of electronic documents. Now, managed documents, the documents that are managed in the managed documents module, they have their own versions. And as you know, knowledge articles also have their own versions. So what we have done is we have connected these two modules so that whenever a new article version is published on knowledge, if there is a linked managed document, the latest version of that gets automatically attached to the latest article version. And on the other side, if there's a new version published of a managed document, and then the user performs a link to knowledge action, the latest document again gets attached to the latest article version that is linked. So this allows a seamless connect of change control between managed documents and knowledge articles. We have also done improvements in knowledge search, specifically around the improving search relevancy. So with New York, you can actually search across multiple tables, and that is achieved through the new index format that we are calling V4 index format. All the new customers on New York and beyond will have the index, all their table indexes indexed to the V4 format by default. And customers who are upgrading from Madrid or earlier releases into New York can do it easily from the knowledge guided setup. So we have, let me quickly show that. So in, if you go to knowledge guided setup and go to the module called knowledge search, we have given an ability to upgrade your index formats to the V4. There's an underlying improvement in the search algorithm, which you'll get by upgrading to this new index format. The other search improvement that has been introduced is index filters. For example, you don't want to index your outdated or retired articles because the indexing is just wasting time on these articles and they will never be searched by an end customer. So you have an option of skipping the indexing of outdated or retired articles. Again, this is for new customers in New York, this is enabled by default, and existing customers, they can easily do it by installing the index filters from the knowledge management guided setup. Republished retired articles. This has also been a customer request where a retired article needs to be brought back in to the knowledge to be made searchable and usable as another knowledge article. This can happen if you have retired an article by mistake, or if an article that has been retired, but the content is still relevant for your users. You can republish a retired article with one click. Knowledge manager or knowledge base owner will see a republish option on their retired articles. And once they click on it, the article will be updated in a version and will be available as a published article. So with that, we are open for answering any questions on these features. I'll just circle back to the features list so that you can ask your questions.
Absolutely. Loknath, I think we had a few questions around the related articles. Will the relationship between articles be kept through different versions, or will it be fixed to a given version?
As far as the relationship is concerned, it's actually between a fixed version, but then there's a way to always redirect to the latest version in the knowledge portal. So even if you have, so let me show it here. Yeah, so I'm on the knowledge portal. As an admin, I'll change the application to knowledge management service portal to be able to make changes. And then let's say I go to an article. So there is an instance option to always redirect to the latest article, which is this. So once you click on this, even if your users are going to an older version of an article, they will always be redirected to the latest version. So this is something that you can use to avoid users going to outdated versions of your articles, and still have the relationships maintained in your knowledge article with other articles.
Perfect. And the next question is there a plan to have related articles populated based on metadata or categories, or must the relationship always be created manually?
Yeah, so as of now, it is a manual creation. The reason being that you might have a sequence of 5 or 6 articles that you want to stitch together. And one way is to create a hub article and then keep links of all the other articles there. The other option is you link the articles by the related list that I just demonstrated. That's another way of doing it. But ideally, we would like to use the similar articles feature, which populates the same widget with recommendations. So for example, if this particular article doesn't have it, let me open an article which yeah. So for example, when I look at this article, this is actually a related article that is brought up by the ML recommendations, and we'd like to use ML recommendations to show up related articles on an article instead of relying on an author having to link them. But yeah, that's the way to go, rather than relying on metadata and other stuff to connect to different articles.
Perfect. And then I think the next one is around the templates. And once you have created that template, will that template be applied to existing articles, or is it just new ones created post that template is created?
Yeah, it will apply to existing articles as well.
Perfect. I'm just seeing a few more coming in. Loknath, one of the questions was around integrating SharePoint with ServiceNow. And if yes, can you just share how that third-party integration works?
So the third-party integration that I was talking about here was around translation. And the direction that ServiceNow is taking towards integration is via Integration Hub, and the interested customers can look up Integration Hub and see if there are existing SharePoint spokes. And I can find out more details and answer that question later. But that's the direction that ServiceNow is taking towards integration. So SharePoint and other kinds of systems will be integrated with ServiceNow through Integration Hub. That's the direction that ServiceNow is taking.
Okay, and then we have a question around on the service portal, we have a subscribe option. Can we just talk through how this works?
Sure. So we support 2 levels of subscription in our knowledge portal. One is the knowledge base level subscription, and the other one is article level subscription. So if you have subscribed to a knowledge base, by clicking on subscribe here, you'll actually get notifications on any new article that has been published in that knowledge base. So for example, if you have subscribed to customer service knowledge base and a new article is published in customer service, you'll get a notification email that there's a new article published. The other option is subscribing at an article level. So if you subscribe to an article, you will get updates on when any new version of that article is published. You'll get a notification. So you have this 2 levels of subscription, and it depends on how interested you are on an article or a knowledge base. So if you are really looking for updates on a particular article, then you can subscribe for the article. Otherwise, you can subscribe at a knowledge base level. So those are the 2 levels of subscription that we support in knowledge management service portal.
Awesome. And then I think we have 2 questions left. If an article is retired, how do we remove all the links to it?
Yeah, so this is something on the roadmap. This feature is not available in the product right now. Something like a broken link generator or a broken link report. So today there is no way to. So if you are linking an article, by putting the article link in the content of another article, and then the linked article is retired, there's no way today other than a manual check that you can check this. But if you are using the M2M table, the related list to connect 2 articles, then obviously one of the article is retired, it will not show up to your end users or customers. For example, on this particular article, it's showing up this related article. So if this article is retired, that will not show up on this article. So that's that part is covered. But if you put an article link into another article, today we do not have any way to identify that. And we have a roadmap item to identify broken links or links to articles that are retired.
And the last question from their side is, which version of New York is the demo running on, Loknath?
This is the New York patch 2. I believe this is the patch 2 of New York.
Perfect. Any more questions on your side, Lisa?
Yes, Eric asks, could you speak of how or if any of these KB enhancements can be leveraged in Virtual Agent? Can articles be displayed in Virtual Agent with any of the styling or features that are available in the portal?
I believe that the virtual agent provides a smaller view of the article, and then there's an option to go to the full view of the article. And I have to cross-check what article links are there. But if those articles are linked to the knowledge portal, then a user can actually navigate to the portal view of that article and use all of these features. And I also want to reiterate on the fact that all new customers on New York and even the upgrade customers, if they so want, they can use the knowledge article view page in their SP flow. So if they're using the service portal, which is the /SP, they can start using the knowledge article view page by configuring the route map that I just demoed. Or if we have a new customer on New York, they'll get that by default. But all of these features will be available in their service portal flow. But I can get more details on the virtual agent question, and I can get back to Eric.
Okay, great. And Lorenzo asks, can related articles be displayed on the ITIL view of the knowledge base, not the KB portal? And what he means is the $knowledge.do.
No, this particular widget is not available on $knowledge.do, and we are strongly recommending customers to migrate to one of the portals so that they can leverage all these features. Like, for example, things like actionable feedback, the rich text comments, the attachment support in comments. All of that is not available in the Knowledge v3, and we are not doing any active developments on the Knowledge v3 page. So all of these new enhancements are going to come on portals, and at least from the customer experience or the end user experience of articles will be available on portals. The way to view related articles in the platform is by going to the article form itself, and then they can look at the related list, and that's the only way to do it today.
Okay, how about validity to date question? The very first one about 1-to-1 to 2100.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
The valid to date that is automatically assigned per article is set to January 1st, 2100. Can you just talk through that on how that can be changed from a admin perspective?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the default valid to date that used to be set for articles before New York was 1st Jan 2020, a date that is very quickly approaching. So if an author has, so the entire idea behind updating that date was, if an author has not looked at the valid to date for their article, it can get expired after 1st Jan 2020, and that's why we went ahead and did some updates to change this default to 1st Jan 2100. But you can still change this by going to the knowledge base and then set your article validity. So for example, and this is in days. So for example, if you set it to 730, it's 2 years, and then you can set it to whatever date you want. But when you set the article validity at a knowledge base level, so this is the IT knowledge base, and I've set it at 1000. And now when I create an article in IT, the valid to date will be populated by the current date plus the article validity that you have set for this knowledge base, which is 1000 days in this case. So this is how you can change the default valid to for each knowledge base. You can control that. If you leave the article validity empty, then it will take the default date of 2100 1st Jan. That's just to avoid articles getting expired after 1st Jan 2020. This is something that we have done proactively.
I don't know if we've got to this question yet. On your service portal, you have a subscribe option. Can you talk about how this works?
Yeah, I think we spoke about that.
Okay.
So we have 2 levels of subscription, at a knowledge base level and an article level. And once you subscribe, then you get notifications once there are any updates to a particular knowledge base or a knowledge article.
And then is there this is coming from the YouTube chat, any version of Orlando roadmap features that you can share with us today?
So we are not planning to, we were not planning to share any Orlando features right now because they have to be, there are some restrictions on what we can demo right now. But I can talk about a few things that we are trying to do in Orlando. One part is automating knowledge gaps, and so the ability for knowledge managers to kind of find out the next top 10 topics they want to create their articles on, and we want to be able to recommend that to a knowledge manager so that they can assign those knowledge gaps automatically to authors who can create articles and then resolve those knowledge gaps. That's one of the key features that we are trying to do in Orlando, but we can't demo or I mean, I'm not set up for that demo right now.
Well, we're going to have another Ask the Expert event this spring to cover that, won't we?
Yeah.
Great. All right. Any other questions coming through? Well, I'll just wait for a moment for people to type. And as just a quick reminder, the community link, that's the event link that I have posted kind of almost hopefully everywhere. The video will be posted there. The slides will be up there shortly, maybe sometime this afternoon. And you can always post your questions on that link for our experts to come back and answer for you. And we do request that you do share it. And oh, thank you, Peter, for letting us know that this demo was very helpful. We appreciate that. All right. Well, with that, we want to thank you again for today's event, and we look forward to seeing you on the community. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.